Okay, looks like we're getting straight into this. Now, last time that we left off, Azuku had gone to 10 months of training and his girlfriend had been killed. And he had unlocked a new form. So let's go off of where we left off now. Now, since his girlfriend died, he would go through his whole, Madara like mood. He would never be happy. All of the 10 months of training, all he did was just train, train, train. Work on his genjutsus, work on his Mangekyo Sharingan abilities, and then train more. All he ever did was train. He barely ate. Just full on training. Now, after the 10 months of training was over, Izuku got ready to go to UA. I mean, the training, the hero, thing that was basically for UA. Now, he walks down there by himself, and everybody's basically just looking at him because it made it onto the news. What happened to the girl and Izuku? Now, Izuku looks at them, and they all just get get a death glare from Izuku, and it's not like a normal death glare. No, 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 no. The death glare peers into their soul. It's almost like he's looking straight into their soul. Now, he just kept on walking. And of course, he aces the test because, first off, he can tell what people are writing from their hand movement. So basically, from he got the answers from how many other people. Like he knew the answers, but he got the answers from all of them answering about the same questions. So the most amount of people that answered one question would be the right answer, theoretically, from their hand movements. So that's what Azuku went off of. And he really didn't feel like thinking about the actual test. So he finished in, I'm going to say there was a lot of smart people inside of there, so I'm going to say he finishes in about six minutes. Now, the teacher says, "Are you sure?" And then he says, "Yeah." Now, he does correct the answers after reading over them just to make sure they were right. And now in time for the this part. Now, should I even tell you guys that he completely destroyed everything? What he did was he used his Mangekyo Sharingan ability, which basically gave him super speed for a matter of 10 seconds, which would be infinite since, he's moving at the speed of light, literal light, while he's using this ability. So he goes flying towards all the 0 pointers. And time slowed down for him, by the way, since he does have his Sharingan enabled. And, well, his Sharingan, because I'm going to say it can change between them. Now, he's just running past all the robots, hitting them with one single Chidori. He can do this since time is slowed down. I'm going to stop mentioning that. But, he can do that since, the whole time slowing down, him having the Sharingan. So, yeah, he gets the top score. Nobody else was close. Like, they literally had to send in new robots because he destroyed so many robots. Like, in a matter of seconds, though. So, Azuku sees Ochako about to be stepped on by the only thing that was left, the 0 pointer, which Azuku does not worry at all, because first off, he has Koimi. So he teleports over to her, because he didn't really feel like running. And the zero pointer is getting ready to step on them until Izuku utters the most dangerous words known to man. I can tell a lot of people know what these words are. Susano. Now, when he says this, he has a perfect Susanoo since he does have the reincarnation of Madara. So yeah. Also, I'll be doing other parts to this, like what if Deku had the Sasuke's Rinnegan and Itachi Sharingan, or what if he was a reincarnation of them? So if you guys would like me to do that, put it inside the chat comments. I mean, now his perfect Susanoo is the same height, well, a little bit taller than the zero pointer. He swings once, and that sword goes through the zero pointer like butter. No cap. I'm gonna say because he's Izuku, since he's edgy Izuku, his Susanoo is black with black flames coming off of it. Now, he then deactivates it and falls down to the ground, which Ochako, she's freaking out since Izuku's falling to the ground. She thinks he used up all of his energy, and they're about to hit the ground, which, if he hit the ground, all of the force from him instantly stopping would go into Uraraka. But instead, he just hits the ground and then puts down Uraraka. And she's just confused and like, what just happened? That's not how physics are supposed to work. But she doesn't complain or anything. She's just confused. Anyway, yeah. Izuku gets a letter inside the mail saying that he passed, which was obvious. Now, let's get straight into the part that I was looking forward to. Making Izuku OP. I am not joking. He is going to be overpowered. Now, he walks into the class, and all the girls see Izuku inside of his finest state, no homo. Now, he looks sad. He looks truly sad. But the girls are not paying attention to that. They're paying attention to his face. Now, his mom just gets a random feeling like, is Izuku clouded up? Like like she just gets this random feeling of Izuku getting loads of clout, bro. But anyway, let me stop. Let's get back into this. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna be going live later, so watch out for that. Izuku Izuku activates his Sharingan for a second, which everybody notices, because how how can you not notice red scarlet I mean black eyes going scar from black to scarlet red. Sorry for all the stuttering, but it happens sometimes. So it is what it is. I swear I'll be making myself laugh. I be wondering if I make people laugh or just myself. Probably just myself, but anyway. Um he senses the chakra of the teacher behind the desk. And then he says, "Teacher." And then the teacher, Ozawa, gets up and he's like, "How did you know I was back there? Nobody else noticed." And then he says, "I used my Sharingan." And then he activates his Sharingan. He's like, "Oh, that's gonna be nuisance. Nuisance. Fuck, I can't say the word. Anyway, anyway, anyway. Azuku then says, "Are we going to the thing?" The teacher just says, "You know what? Thank you to all the people that just said bless you to me." But anyway, the Ozawa says, "You know what? We're gonna skip that. You guys just talk to each other." This might be the only chance that you guys actually get to talk to each other legitimately without class. Now everybody starts to beat gets to know each other, which I'm gonna make this ship unbelievable. Izuku's gonna have a harem. So all the girls come up to Izuku and they're like, hey. And right now Izuku's numb. He's on XXX type vibes. So he's kinda like, hey. And let me switch to Izuku. He's kinda like, hey. And the girls are like, so why are you acting shy? Like I think you think that you would get more dates and you'd be a lot less shy. And Azuku then says, well, my girlfriend died at the beginning of the 10 months of training arc. I mean, not arc, the 10 months of training. Which everybody's like, oh my gosh, which they really don't care. They literally are just trying to get his sympathy so then they can freaking, you know, so then they can get some D in their P. So let me not get into that. But Izuku says, well, you asked. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad for me. And I'm not doing that thing where I say I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad for me when I actually am. Now, all the girls are like, oh. And then they completely change the subject to what? And Froppy just comes out and says, hey, you trying to fuck? Bruh. Every single girl inside of their art is just shocked. They like, is she a thotty? Does she belong to the highway? And I'm gonna say, since Izuku was on some X stuff, I'm gonna actually say, Izuku took some stuff from X, and then he says, you know what? X always said to numb yourself, so I'm gonna numb myself with this. And by numb, I mean I'm gonna feel a lot of pleasure with this. And they just walk off, and all the girls are just solid faced. They're just all, they just all jealous. They like, dang, why can't I have confidence like that? Now, let's not talk about that anymore. Now, Azuku and Froppy go and have sex inside the bathroom, and they come back. Which all the girls just freaking say, "Hey, Froppy, got a little, you got a little something in your hair." If you notice, she had inside of her hair, you're a real OG. But Froppy just basically walks back to the bathroom, washes her hair out, and then she's like, "Oh, okay." But anyway, let's get into this. The teacher then says, "Okay, it's about time. Time to test out your quirks without your quirks and with your quirks." Now, Azuku without his quirk, he can't really use without his quirk because he has chakra in his veins. Yes, inside of his veins because chakra moves through blood, which it's energy. So Azuku throws it, I'll say, a good distance. No, actually, a great distance. He throws it about. I don't want to put him on the same level as Bakugo. 17,000 meters without his quirk. Now everybody was like, "Wait, that was without your quirk?" And then he says, "Yeah, that was without my quirk. It really wasn't that impressive." They're like, "What do you mean? You just threw it 17,000 meters." Now, the teacher then Ozawa then says, "Okay, do it with your quirk now," and he instantly switches to this, which all the girls are like, "Wow, that's a pretty quirk." Cause look at this pattern. That's just perfect. But anyway, his rinne sharingan activates, and then he throws it, and the thing says 100,000 meters. Yeah, I'm gonna make him overpowered on this one. Now, everybody just everybody's jaw just drops. They like, the fuck was that? That's not fucking normal. The do you mean his quirk was supposed to boost his abilities by a little bit? Ozawa then explained to them what just happened. Now he explains that his quirk doesn't just boost abilities once. No. It has multiple phases because this was put inside of his data records. It has multiple phases to it. One Tomoe, two Tomoe, three Tomoe, Mangekyo, and Rinne Sharingan. Izuku also said that he can have another mode. Well, there was a chance of him getting another mode called Rinnegan, but it's not possible since he has to run a Sharingan now. So everybody else goes strength one, Izuku breaks it. Speed one, Izuku goes like 1 second, not even 1 second, 1 millisecond for Izuku. Um, Jumps. Now, if you don't watch Naruto, do I even need to tell you? If you watch Naruto, do I even need to tell you how far he jumped? My man's jumped 20,000 meters into the air with his quirk. I mean, without his quirk, not with his quirk. And with his quirk, I'm going to say he doesn't really try to jump up that high because if he jumps up too high, it's going to hit the roof and probably break his neck, which isn't a guaranteed kill, but pretty high chance. He jumps up, I'm going to say since people have giant quirks, the school's building is a lot bigger, so 60,000 meters with his quirk. And that was almost to the roof. So Izuku walks home and is getting ready to walk home, and Uraraka walks up to him and then she says, "You want to walk home together?" Which of course Izuku says yes to because he pimp names. Let me stop. I really gotta stop with these memes in the middle of the video. But he says yes, and they walk home together, and they basically just have a relation, relates, fuck, or they just have a fucking talk. I'm not even going to say relationship, but basically one thing leads to another, and she's basically like, I want to be brave like Froppy. So she just flat out and says it. Do you want to go on a date? Uraraka says, which shocks Deku because Uraraka's shy for real. But you know, she had to stand up for the gang. She had to stand up for what she reps. So anyway, Izuku says yes, and they do the hoo-ha, which I'm not gonna make the same joke. They walk outside the building. I'm gonna make a joke. I'm sorry. I have to. And Izuku says, "Wow, you do not look like an eater." If you get what I mean, you get it. If you get what I fucking mean, you get it. You just get it. Now, Izuku walks her home and then goes back home himself. Izuku then goes to sleep and he visits his inner mind. Madara then tells him, "You realize you can use the mode, right?" Izuku then says, I know. Sage of Six Paths, blah blah blah. Can destroy the planet, blah blah blah. Can take down all my and all for one inside of one foul swoop, blah blah blah. I get it. Madara then says, you need to carry out your plans. I'm gonna say one kid destroyed half of the school with his quirk, just for plot reasons. And Madara then says, take a break tomorrow. Go and build the Akatsuki. Say you're taking a break, just going out to eat with a friend, but rebuild the Akatsuki. Which Izuku's like, okay. I mean, like, that's kind of boring, but. And then Madara gets offended and he's like, boring. The only thing you should care about is fulfilling, making the Akatsuki. Now, he says, okay. Who's the first person that I need to recruit? Madara then says, the reincarnation of Obito. You need him for when you go blind. You can take his eyes and then use the reanimation jutsu on him. So then his eyes will come back and he can help you fulfill the plan. So I'm gonna say Izuku's walking down the street and then he randomly sees this guy laying right here, just chilling out. Now, he asked him what his name was, cause he looked pretty emo, and then he says, "My name is Obito Uchiha. What about you?" And then he says, "Wait, you wouldn't happen to be the reincarnation of Madara Uchiha, would you?" He says, "Yeah." Well, Izuku says, "Yeah, that's right. I am the reincarnation of Madara Uchiha." Now, Obito then says, "Wow, that's kind of pathetic. I'm not going to make the same mistake that I made at first. I have no reason to go with you. I don't need to save anybody named Rin. I don't have a reason." Izuku then says, "How about this? Since you look like a type that likes fame, money, and time to time sex, how about this?" Izuku then says, "If you help me fulfill my mission to rebuild the Akatsuki and take down All for One, along with the League of Villains, then I will give you all of those. I will give you the credit that you deserve. You don't even have to actually do anything. You can stay inside the shadows for as long as you want. All I'm asking for," Izuku says, "is for your loyalty. It's for your power. I need it on my side." Which he says okay to. Now, Izuku's like, "That's good." Now, that's where I'm going to leave it off. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like button and subscribe button. See you guys later.